you may think that the housing that has better returns and better yields maybe will be found in Karen, will be found in Muthaiga, and or maybe Runda. The reality of the matter is the houses that have better returns are actually in the slums. That is a tragedy of our housing market in Kenya, because that house has been built with semi-permanent material, it has no basic services, and yet the people pay so much money. So when everybody else in the real estate market is having a yield or a return of about 6-7%, here in the slums, the people who have put up those structures are yielding 60 and 70%. And that's why sometimes you wonder, where is all this noise coming from? This noise is coming from somewhere, you know? And we are not here to spoil people's businesses, but at the very least, if you're going to build homes for people, build them decently, have basic services, you know, pay Kenya Power for electricity so that at least the power that you're using to connect the people is legitimate power, because you're still charging those people. You know, it's an illegal connection. There are fires all the time, you know, and that is really what, every day when I wake up, that is what I'm confronted with. You know, when you want to know that you have a problem, and you know, I always say we can disagree on how to fix the problem, and that is fair, because we don't have the monopoly of knowledge, and we don't have the you know, the monopoly of how to do things. But we cannot run away from the fact that we have a problem. And when you know you have a problem, when 70% of your people that are living in urban areas live in a slum. And I look at our leaders. I look at Senator for Nairobi, for example. He is one of the people who is fighting the housing program. You have 4 million people in Nairobi, and if 70% of those people that you claim to be representing live in a shack, live in a slum, who are you representing? And that is the honest conversation that we should be able to have. So the fact that there are some people who have got loud mouths and have got loud voices does not mean that the other people who are silent, in fact, the silent majority, you know, most of them are suffering, and most of them have seen hope, because they've seen their colleagues pack their bags and move to an estate that has dignity. There is water, there is electricity, there is a school, there is a hospital, there is shopping center, there is a fire station. You don't get that every other day. And so as much as we can disagree, and you know, politics is a funny game, and I'm a creation of politics, but I'm not a politician. But if there is something that really shocks me is our politician. You know, today they stand for something, tomorrow they don't stand, just because they change maybe their political formation. So today there was somebody who was pro-housing, and they talked about who has a problem with dignifying people who are in the slums. And then today they're busy telling you that don't get into those houses, because when we come into government, we're going to take away those houses. How do you take away houses? This is not a favor you're doing to people. And these people here are homeowners, and they are homeowners by right, you know. And so any Kenyan who wants to participate in this program for housing, please do it confidently. There is nobody who will take away that, because if there is anything that is well protected in law and in our constitution, is the right to own. So please, usidanganywe na wenye wanakudanganya, they have 5 homes. 5. What kind of human beings have we become? You know, this person that is living in this house here has 1 toilet. One house has got 6 toilets. What business do you have fighting somebody who can at least say, I have dignity of using 1 toilet? I mean, really, that is the highest level of selfishness. And I hope Kenyans can see through you, and they can see the hypocrisy. Because how can you be a leader? What kind of people are you leading? What kind of, I mean, you know, it really irritates me to see, you know, people who are being so selfish. You know, let's disagree. Yes, nobody wants to pay more taxes than they should. But when taxes are paid and they make a difference, like they are making here today, you know, at the very least we can be able to say that I contributed to making someone's life, or even bringing heaven a little bit closer to someone's heart. That person who goes to bed tonight, sleeping in a dignified place, and goes on their knees and thanks God, you know, that there is that their prayers have been answered. They are also thanking you. the silent majority are buying those homes. In a few years' time, you're going to be sitting there feeling cheated because you listened to people that are bankrupt of ideas, you know, and people who have got nothing good that they can tell you, and they are going to disinherit you because this is your inheritance, because this country belongs to all of us. It does not belong to some of us. It belongs to all of us. And so there is nothing that is better than for you having a small stake of this enterprise we call Kenya. So the houses have been made with you in mind. It does not matter what your income level is. There is something somewhere for everybody. Remember, there are 3 schemes. There's a social housing scheme, which is what you have here. The social housing scheme is a scheme that is targeted for people who earn 20,000 shillings and below. If you know you earn 20,000 shillings and below, you have an entitlement to a house. You stop being a rent payer. You become a homeowner. You stop paying rent to a shack. You start paying a mortgage towards your own home. And I can tell you, ownership is the first step towards getting out of squalor and poverty. Because this house here is more than a house. It's your asset. Tomorrow, if you want to look for a home facility or you want to look for a loan, you can go to a bank today and apply for a loan because you have a house. So this is not just about structures. We are putting wealth in the hands of our people.